Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Faith Unfiltered. Today, I want to talk to you about something that'll resonate in everybody's life a little bit. Faith in times of uncertainty. I think we all face moments where life throws us an unexpected curveball. Would you agree? Whether it's a sudden job loss, whether it's a health crisis, whether it's a relationship that's falling apart, we've all been there. And in these moments, it's pretty easy to feel overwhelmed, if you're honest. As if the ground is shifting beneath your feet. But let's take a second. Let's reflect on Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says here, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. See, this scripture reminds us that faith is not about having all the answers. It's not about knowing all the outcomes. It's about trusting in God. Even when we can't see a way forward, we're called to trust in Him. Imagine a time that you were lost. I'm thinking of a dark forest. The trees are thick. You can't see the sun. Each step you make feels uncertain. Am I going the right way? Am I getting further out in the weeds or whatever? You really don't know the way out. But then there's a familiar voice that calls out. It's your friend, and he knows the path back. In that moment, you have a choice. You can choose to panic, or you can choose to trust your friend who's going to guide you to safety. My friends, this is much like our relationship with God, if you think about it. We find ourselves often in dark places. But God is always there. He's always willing to guide us through the uncertainty if we'll allow Him to. See, in the Bible, we see many examples of individuals who faced uncertainty but chose to trust God. Think about Abraham when he was called to leave his homeland, to leave his people, to leave the place he called home for an unknown land that God promised. Abraham did not have a map. He did not have a detailed plan, but he had faith. He had faith. See, God had promised him that he would become the father of many nations. And that promise kept him in the midst of uncertainty. Is the promise that he believed in. See, his journey wasn't easy, but he leaned on God's promise. He leaned on God's guidance. Another story is in Matthew, when the disciples are in a fierce storm, and they're terrified, thinking the boat's going to sink. Then they saw Jesus walking on the water towards them. See, Peter acted in ridiculous faith here. He stepped out of the boat. He got out of the boat, my friends. He walked on the water. Then he saw the things going on around him and began to sink. And Jesus immediately reached out, grabbed his hand, and brought him to safety. And all he said is, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" See, this emphasizes that even in our moments of doubts, even in our moments of really bad fear, God is right there with us, ready to catch us if we fall. So what does that mean for you and me? My friends, when life feels uncertain, and sometimes it does, let's remember that faith is not the absence of doubt. Faith is leaning on our own understanding can lead us to fear and anxiety. But leaning on God's promise brings peace. As we navigate these times, we need to build a habit of prayer. We need to seek God's guidance in every situation in our lives. Surround yourselves with people, a community of believers that can support you. Just as the disciples were together in the boat, We need somebody to share our struggles with. We need somebody to pray with and to pray for. We need to remind each other that God is faithful even when we can't always see it. So as we face life's uncertainties, let's hold on to the truth that God is truly with us. So trust Him, lean on His understanding, and allow your faith to guide you through the storms. Remember, just as He was with Abraham, just as He was with the disciples, He is with you today. Trust Him to make your path straight. And even when the chips are down, never give up hope. Have a great day. Take care.